Okay, Jeff, I'm going to look at your full swing with an iron, and I'm going to compare you to Grant Waite. And we're going to first look at a down the line target view. I've drawn a red line along the shaft and toward the back. And let's take the backswing and look at Grant's backswing. Ideally, you want your shaft, as it goes back in the backswing, to stay somewhat close to parallel to that red line at all times. So as Grant goes back, at this position, his club is still somewhat parallel to the red line. Gets further back. When he gets into this position, the 3 position, he has that club pointing right at the golf ball, which is good. Then as he continues to the top of the backswing and then back down again, he returns that shaft on that line and into the golf ball. Let's look at your backswing. As you go back, your club almost immediately gets above the plane. Your club now is way up here, way above the plane. I'm going to change that color a little bit. So you're up here. It gets even more upright. So when you get closer to the top of your backswing, instead of your club being pointed at the golf ball, it's pointing at your toes. And then you have to kind of reroute it back to the golf ball. And just before impact, instead of being on line, again, you're here. So your backswing really fluctuates in the manipulation of the shaft. It gets well above the plane in the backswing, and on the downswing it tries to correct and gets under the shaft, and you're going to have a very difficult time being consistent in approaching the golf ball on plane so that you give the ball a direct hit and with control of the face position. When you get the shaft under control, that'll also put the face of the club under control. So we need to really shape your backswing to be more on plane, and it's going to require turning your shoulders and hips more. Now we're going to start at the 1 position again, and as Grant goes back, watch his right front pocket. You can see how he's turning that hip. When he gets to the top of the backswing, his right hip is really turned back. His belt buckle is easily seen from this camera angle. So he's really turned his hips back and rotated them, which helps him keep his club on plane. He's extended his back leg and he's flexed his forward leg. You can see how much this leg here gets bent and how this one has gotten a lot straighter. That's an important fundamental movement within a good backswing. Now we're going to take your club back and watch your back pocket and front pocket. And you'll see very little turn, just very little turn. You're basically just lifting the club up with your arms. There's not really a coil or a turn of your shoulders or hips. And so that's what's preventing you from taking the club back more to the inside. Let's look at Grant one more time in his backswing. I'm going to take him back until the shaft of his club is about parallel to the ground. It's about right there. Now, if I draw a line from his toes and the shaft of the club, they're almost on the same plane. So when he gets back to the two position, which is when the club is parallel to the ground in the backswing. That's called the two position. He has his hands right above his toes to continue his backswing. Now, if I draw a line where your toes are, and then we follow your backswing, when your club is parallel, that's probably just a fraction, but you can see how it's outside that line. Where Grant's shaft is more here, yours is still way out in front of you. And so that's just an indication that you're just using your arms. Now, if you had turned your hips as much, then it would have brought your hands further to the inside. Your hands would have gone back this way a little bit further had you turned those hips. And then when the club got parallel, it would be closer to being on the right plane. So turning those hips will be very important. Now let's take a look at your driver's swing. First on the right is Grant. And as he goes back, you can see how his knees, his hips, his body, every part of his body and arms are all moving and turning and taking his club back. So when his club gets to here, this shaft is basically right at the golf ball. As you go back, it's basically just your arms taking the club back. You can see how when you get back, your club is way to the inside. You just lifted it straight up. So again, with both the iron and the driver, we need to work more on getting your body to take the club back with a turn. We need to create some rotary action, rotary power. And you're only using your hands and arms, and only the hands and arms are delivering any power. So we need to incorporate the stronger, larger muscles in your body to help you deliver the club with more speed. Part of the process will be to also work on getting your right arm in a better position. When Grant gets to the top of his swing, his forearm, right forearm, is pointing right at his hip. So this arm is pointing right at this hip right here. And when you get to the top of your swing, your arm is pointing out this way. So Grant has his armpit closed. One of the drills we'll do, and it's a common drill, you'll see a lot of tour players do this drill, is they will put a towel or a head cover under their right armpit and hit golf balls, keeping that right arm tucked so that they keep their arms connected to their body so that the arm cannot move independent of the body. So we need to have the body take more of a role in getting this club back. So the next time we meet, we're going to focus exclusively on building the proper foundation in your backswing. We need to build your swing one piece at a time and in the proper sequence, in the proper order. And building the proper backswing is first. And so we need to just repeat this over and over until you own this movement, till you own the right backswing. Then you'll see a tremendous change in your ball striking.